How's your BroadwayCon going so far? What's the craziest thing you've seen here?
BroadwayCon's going wonderful so far. I did the Broadway game night last night, which was super fun because I got to see a lot of my friends on the boards that I don't usually get to see. Steph Stiles and Christiani and Nick Rouleau and who else was there? Drew Gayling. It was fun. It was a good group. And then this morning I did a panel for Alice by Heart. Stephen Sater is publishing a book based on Alice by Heart, the musical that we did last year. So Grace and Colton and I spoke for the show, and Duncan and Stephen talked, and it was lovely.
So you mentioned game night. This is a very important question. How does it feel that no matter how hard you work, you'll never be as famous as Larry?
That's a good one. It's very good. It'll keep me up at night for sure for a while. I don't know how I'm gonna reckon with that, but Larry's he's a special person. I understand his impact, so I have a lot to live up to.
And your team won last night, so
that's
that
true.
must feel
We
great.
crushed it.
You did.
Yeah. Without Larry, who was on the opposite team, so.
That's true. That's true. If BroadwayCon existed when you were a kid, who would you have been excited to meet?
Oh my God, that is a good question. Yeah, it wasn't around. Thanks for making me feel old. It's only been like, what, 5 years?
Yeah, 5 years.
5 years? Wow. Yeah, I would have been all about this. I was definitely a stage door kid when I would come up to New York. I'm from Florida, but I remember seeing Take Me Out when I was 16 and like waiting outside for Dennis O'Hare and exchanging emails because I got him to help me write a high school research paper on Richard Greenberg, the playwright of Take Me Out. I can't believe I did that. Like, could you imagine? Like, I would never give my email at the stage door, but it was a different time.
Yeah.
It wasn't as scary. So, yeah, I would have liked to meet, I'm sure, I'm trying to think because they're my friends now. But back in the day, they weren't. And I looked up to like Gavin Creel and Norva Leo Butts was a huge idol of mine. Alan Cumming, Cheyenne Jackson. These are all boys. Okay. These are all cute boys. I
get it.
Patty and Bernadette. Come on.
Mm-hmm.
I have a picture of me and Bernadette at a stage door, and she is kissing my cheek after Gypsy, and I have like curly hair and a big stupid face. I'm just like I'm just living my best gay life. And when I was on Smash years later, and she guest starred, we recreated this photo on the set of Smash, so that was special.
If you were coming to BroadwayCon undercover, who would you cosplay as?
Beetlejuice.
You recently filmed Spongebob, the musical.
Yeah.
How was that experience, and how did it differ from like performing it on Broadway?
Oh, very different, because it was sort of choreographed around cameras this time. I mean, like the bones of the show are the same. It's the same show essentially, but and we had to split it up into 10 TV acts versus 2 acts of theater for commercial breaks and all of that. So it was quite choreographed within an inch of its life for the broadcast, but then we only got 2 takes of the whole thing. So it was challenging for sure. It was tricky. It was also bizarre because we hadn't done the show in a year, and suddenly we're throwing it back up with the original cast mostly, and it was wild and crazy and fun, but also trippy and surreal and all the things. We also had a very fast turnaround. Like we had to shoot it, rehearse it, shoot it, and edit it. They edited it very fast. So it was fast and furious, which was sometimes stressful and scary, but it was really fun and rewarding.
Did you have a chance to see it, and were you happy?
I did, yeah.
Were you happy with how it turned out?
I loved it. I thought it was so cool. I mean, of course, they had to cut like 15, 20 minutes from the broadcast, so like we didn't even shoot the Act 2 scene, the big guy scene, where I come out of the orchestra pit and, have that big makeout sesh with Karen, and like that was honestly my favorite scene of the show. So I was pretty bummed to know that it wasn't going into the broadcast. But I get it. You do what you gotta do. But yeah, I was pleased with it. I thought it looked great.
How did your award-winning series, TheBroadwayWiz, come about?
It came about when I found myself in Los Angeles and I was sort of, I was selling some scripts, I was circulating some creative projects on my own, and was sort of stuck. And Alex Wise was out in LA shooting a soap opera, Bold and Beautiful, and the two of us just started hanging out and wanting to, I mean, we were friends in New York, but we got closer in LA, and we're both writers, and it just, I brought a short play to him, and I was like, this feels like we could rewrite it together for our own voices and be these characters and maybe shoot like a sketch or at least a pilot of a web series and see if it works. And so one hot summer day in LA, we shot for 5 hours the first episode of Indoor Boys, and then we were like, this feels like it wants to keep going. It feels like we want to keep learning about these two people. So we kept writing and listening to what the fans said on the internet and what they wanted, and we just kept doing it.
You've had a lot of great actors on your series. Yeah. Is there somebody else you would love to come on?
I mean, yeah. I mean, I love actors. That's the thing. Is like in another life I was a casting director. I'm very connected to performance, and I just like cast all of Indoor Boys from my contacts in my phone. People I've worked with, people I respect and look up to, and it's a very collaborative, fun energy, and everyone wants to make it as best as it can be. So we really enjoy, Alex and I really enjoy working with women of a certain age. We really love like the actresses playing our mothers, Carolee Carmelo and Deanne Cox, and we did a book club episode in this last season with Kathy Fitzgerald and Laura Silverman, and you know, it was just it's embarrassment of riches with the talent that we get on the show. Who would I want? I don't even know. Who haven't I put on it? I guess I haven't put like Will and Audra in this one. Audra's been in my other web series, but not Indoor Boys, so I guess Will and Audra. I'm about to work with Will and Assassins, and I love that family. So
we have to make that happen.
Yeah, I guess so.